Can you hear what I'm saying to you now? Can you feel what I'm saying to you now? I got a reason, I find my reason. I get high, I get down. I find my reason, I got my reason. I get high, I get down. Can you hear what I'm saying to you now? Can you feel what I'm saying to you now?
Okay, brief history of the band. Basically, we've been together as we are now for about 3.5 years. Prior to Rob being in the band, we had another guy called Luke, and with Luke, there were still 5 of us. Obviously, we recorded our first EP in 1997, and then not too long after that, about 4 months after I think Luke left the band, we decided to go at it as a 4-piece for about 3 months, I think. And when that didn't end up panning out the way we hoped, we started looking for someone else, and pretty much Rob just fell in our lap.
Because they rock my world.
Because they're nice guys and they play nice music.
Musically, they're fantastic. They've got it all. They've got the looks, they've got the style, they've got the music, they've got the lyrics. They've got the change in each song. They've got it all, and that's why I'm here.
Look, I like Hinge because no matter what I do, every time I go and see them, I find that they're awesome. Awesome, yeah, they really rock. And no, that might be an overused word. Let's say they certainly blow my socks off. How's that?
And money buys you everything in this business.
Discs for 1,000 copies have cost us $1,300. The recording and mastering, $7.5 grand, and probably another $1,500 on printing for the covers.
No, we don't have our CDs in store at the moment. We're hoping to do so with the 3rd one, but it's basically all about perseverance and just, in a nice way, hassling people to listen to you and pay attention to you.
Well, basically, the funding for our CD, most of it comes from our playing of gigs, and we get paid for those, and we put it into a band account, which is we give our money to one person, and he handles all our cash, so it doesn't get mixed up.
Because it's about money, make sure that that you're properly prepared to do things that you know. There's certain rules. The rule of thumb is that if you spend $1,000 on a recording, you should be spending $2,000 or $3,000 to promote it. So the recording is only part of the process. It's not the complete process. You have to promote yourself if you want to succeed.
Once we're a bit short of money, pretty much we also put in a little bit of our own. It's come to our last city. I think we had to put in about $350, something like that each in. But overall, you know, it's like a business, and you do whatever you can to, you know, just get your product out there and heard.
When you look upon the fact that you might get $100 or $200 for a gig, you should probably be spending at an early point in your career. You should spend all that money promoting yourself, because it's after you pay the mixer, then either the band should be putting in order to advance their career.
Most of it comes from gigs, which is great, but we get nothing from pretty much playing, and you know, we pay for all our expenses, strings and whatever else, and it can be a little bit hard at times, but you know, man, we're sort of, you know, but we expect it because, you know, we're obviously just striving to get somewhere.
The musician generates everything, but everyone else takes the money.
Self-condemnation.
we haven't really pushed ourselves for distribution yet, and that's our own fault. I think we kind of unfortunately hoped that something or someone would actually approach us, but we've now learned that's not the way it works.
Most people go, oh, it doesn't really matter, let someone else do it, but you're not going to get a manager more than likely until you prove you can make some money.
Yeah, getting gigs is always a bit of a pain. Lately it's been alright because we've had a lot of other bands offering us gigs, so
you find out it's who you know, not what you know.
Well, that's the whole business. It's who you know, it's not what you know.
The difficulties of getting known, getting recognised is pretty difficult, and I'll tell you why. Because especially in Melbourne, it's so competitive. There's a lot of bands around, a lot of different styles. Pretty much you can go see whatever you want any night of the week you want, and you've got to fit in somewhere. You've got to have a following, and you've got to be heard. You can be out there for like pretty much 8 years and still not be heard by anyone important, but you've got to sort of do it for the enjoyment. Otherwise, it's not really worth doing it at all.
So you've got to be prepared to invest in your career. If you're prepared to spend thousands of dollars on equipment, which most people in bands do, why aren't you spending the money on the rest of it?
Yeah, you find it. There's lots of stuff. There's finding mixers, and there's finding venues and venue sound systems, and there's a whole bunch of things.
We've come out of shows
contribute.
Paying our mixer and not making a cent out of our show.
Yeah,
pretty
we've
much
actually had to pay.
Pay our mixer, and then we get nothing for the show. So in a way, we've come there, played, and
actually had to pay
to play pretty much.
So you've got to pay to play.
And I heard somewhere overseas that that's how they do it pretty much. You have to pay to play.
So you've got to pay to play.
To pay to play. You have to pay to play.
So you've got to pay to play.
Played on Thursday, we made $40, if that means anything.
Some sort of
In shit clubs, in
shit clubs, that's right. You know. So that's a pretty tough deal over there, but I don't know, I hope that doesn't come in here. But
it's having someone promote you effectively, because once you get noticed, you don't earn $100 for a gig, you get a couple of $100 for a gig. Once you do that and you get a crowd, you're off and rolling. So
You got to go in it thinking that if you get nothing out of it, you got all those years of playing live and, you know, enjoying it, rather than getting something at the end, oh, I got a job out of it, I got paid for it, you know. So you got to do it for the enjoyment rather than anything else.
hours. I work about 15 hours to this place, and I work at another venue for another 8 hours. Yeah, it's a bit of a struggle, but I guess I'm doing what I love, and I'll get through it eventually.
I'd rather get a real job. I'm either married or I've got children, I want to get a house. Rock and roll doesn't support that.
Yeah, but my passion's in music, it's my dream. If that occurs, I'd drop everything. In this job? Oh mate, in a second.
With this new CD, probably 2 months prior to releasing it, we're going to try and do all the radio promotion and whatever that we can.
Yeah, the recording is only part of the process, it's the promotion. People have got to know about a band. So they're not going to know about a band if you're not going to get played on the radio.
And in that way you're showing the distribution company that, like, if they scratch your back, you can scratch theirs, so to speak, by if they're giving you space on shelves, you can return the favour, so to speak, and do your own little promotions and stuff, whether it be flyers or interviews on radio.
We'll go in there and we lay our tracks one by one. Pretty much drums go up first, and then bass kicks in second. Then they do guitars, and then basically overdubs.
I think we had 500 copies printed of our first CD and 1,000 printed of the second one. I imagine we probably would have given away at least 100.
And then Greg comes in, once we've sort of got a basic mix together of music, does his vocal on top, and then pretty much does his overdubs, and that process took about, last recording, how many weekends?
6 days.
6 days and about 3 weekends.
One of the big pains in the ass or big disappointments we had was a band that come out in America called Hinge, and that pretty much put us down a little bit. We've had a lot of disappointments in the past.
At the moment our CDs aren't in store. We've had the first 2 EPs put fairly scarcely around in a couple of independent music shops and a couple of skateboard shops.
And it would be nice to make money out of it. Oh, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind giving up my job and playing in the band for full time and just living off that. But
one, it's all about money.
At times you can hate music.
Hotels are not charitable institutions, so therefore if you don't get a crowd, more than likely you're not going to get asked back.
Yeah, sometimes it just gets to you that much that if it wasn't there,
yeah, you wouldn't be doing
you still
anything
need
else.
it, you know, like you go away and you just get over it.
It's usually about making money. It's not about how good you sound or how good you are. It's about how many people can line up at the bar at once. So if you haven't got a crowd, then forget it. As far as gigs go, it's pretty hard.
Because there's so many bands, you can't afford to, you can't fail too often because it's going to get you nowhere.
When you think that you are trying to do your best to push yourself and whatever, and you just constantly get knocked back, it can be quite discouraging.
At times like we're just totally down, might have a bad show or not many people turned up, and you know, emotionally we go through, you know, like when we have, but then you have your highs, you know, we just pretty much the whole week you're pumped up, and then you have those weeks where, you know, something might go wrong and everyone's down, or you listen to your CD and something for some reason you don't like it at the time or something, just silly things, and but I don't know, just enjoying playing live.
If you're getting good shows and getting good crowds, it doesn't matter, you know, like as long as you're happy on stage and you're happy together as a group, then the money's not really so important, you know.
That's our new mailing list. We send out one of these every about 4 to 6 weeks. Basically it's me imagining scenarios for everyone and bullshitting, and then we go on and list our gigs and usually a little blurb about each gig.
Get mailing lists.
Yeah, we'll get a good response from our mail rag, thanks to Glenn's stupidity.
Mailing list, where you write your address or email address.
An eighth of a page ad saying the beat or the impress is about $160. So if you're going to put in one of those, especially for a band on our budget, you've got to hold off until you've got a few good gigs lined up so you can advertise them all at the same time, unless you're doing something like a CD launch or something like that where you're destined to spend killer cash.
It took us a while to get the mailing list up and running. Due to how much money we realised that it was going to cost every time we sent one out. But once we started doing it, it's just been a total success.
This is my brother. Affair. And it's 3 pages.
Mailing list costs a lot of money. You know, we've got how many people? It's over 300 people on our mailing list, so each person's worth a 45-cent stamp, a piece of A4 paper and an envelope.
That's it, no more.
Personal details, credit cards if you like. In fact, I'd appreciate that.
Instead of people calling us up now or having to chase us, you know, whether it be at our work or at home or whatever, they can just refer to this now. And since we've started sending them out, this is our 11th issue, but since we started sending them out, we've just had pretty much a constant following. And yeah, it really works. So if anyone else is watching this, wondering whether or not mailing lists work, they do.
If you want to hear more news, gossip, and whatever else I can fit into one page of A4 paper, you get it here. Write your address down there.
Word of mouth is quite often the most powerful of tools to use for getting your name around and stuff.
How's the gig? I think it went alright. I hope it went alright. Well, the sounds of it went alright. But up here it was a little bit messy, but I'm not complaining. I think everyone else enjoyed it over there. Should have a few new names on our mailing list, so we're fucking rocking. I think tonight was a success overall.
What do you want to do about me, about me, about me? You want to do about me, about me? Oh, you want to do about me, about me, about me? You want to do about me, about me? Oh, you want to do about me, about me, about me? Hinge, hinge, hinge.
When we first started, it was basically a collection of our friends or friends' friends.
I've been watching this band for 4 years.
Why they're the best band? Because they're my mates. I grew up with them.
Tom, you're a sexy bastard.
No, I think Brocky's hot ass.
And now basically our crowds consist of friends, 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 friends.
Glenn, what can I say? You're just a sexy dude. No offense, my girlfriend. And yeah, fucking rock. Rock and roll, man.
Glenn was a big part of the reason why I now deal with music myself and play.
Why do you love Hinge?
I love Hinge because they're good.
Because it sounds
They
rock.
rock! Yeah! Rock, yeah! Little bit!
They rock!
And people who we have no idea who they are, but they follow us around.
Hinge good.
And sooner or later, they generally approach one of us, and you know,
They become friends.
Yeah, and they become friends. So then it's just, you know, a bigger group.
And he was a big inspiration to me, and it was a big step, a big part of my life.
Tibor, if these blokes could do something with their passion, I don't know what, but by Christ, they've got so much passion. In respect, I'm here to pay respect to Hinge and their guitar rock.
How is our sound?
Hinge.
The only band to see here is Hinge.
Now that I'll never forget, so I had to scar my body in some way.
Self-promotion, I work in a pub at the House of Fools in Footscray. Every now and then I'll wear my Hinge t-shirt to work, just because, well, no one else is going to promote you, so you may as well do it yourself.
Crazy. Hinge changed my life dramatically.
And it works well that way because people are willing to help you. Simple things like carrying stuff, equipment, whether it be to the stage or from the stage or out the venue. And everyone, I don't know, everyone seems to get a sense of pride, like, yeah, they're my friends.
It's like I have a blowjob every time I go and see.
To remember these fantastic gentlemen that make fantastic music, and they're just great. Listen to them.
without me, yeah.
Once we've sort of got a basic mix together of music,